Justice Gao Latelo Kitlogetswe has ordered the IEC to allow the Umbrella for Democratic Change to deploy its observers at different voter registration polls. University of Botswana unveiled the Women's Phoenix Rugby Sevens Academy. Welcome and thank you for joining us. Now, in our first story, President Dr. Masisi says government is committed to promoting science, technology and innovation as it is critical in ensuring the country achieves a high income and knowledge-based economy. He said that is why plans are underway to establish the National Research Fund, which will help transform the status of the country's research landscape. The President said this during the L'Oreal Foundation and United Nations Educational, Scientific and Organizational UNESCO Award ceremony for women scientists in the sub-Saharan Africa held in Kasane last night. Monica Siswaila has more.
For many years, science and technology have been central in the progress and development of nations worldwide. In recognition of this, Botswana joined the rest of the world to promote science through tertiary institutions, policies and annual events, all geared towards encouraging and retaining more women and girls in STEM who for long have been lagging behind.
The generation of knowledge and its utilization in coming up with technological solutions to problems of limited capacity in production or in the delivery of services is cardinal to our Vision 2036 aspiration of becoming a high-income and knowledge-based economy. We are, as a country, aligned with the African Union's strategy and commitments to use science, technology, and innovation as catalysts for Africa's socio-economic development and growth. Furthermore, Botswana's research agenda priorities of value chain development, digitalization, and mindset change directly speak to engaging science-applied research and innovation for transforming Botswana into a vibrant, knowledge-based economy.
For the country to produce 2 awardees for these awards is an achievement worth acknowledging.
This is clear demonstration that young women, scientists in this country, have the capability to excel at the highest level. And yes, I want to make a promise to you that we will do all it takes to raise the bar even higher. Our immediate effort in this regard is that the National Research Fund is being set up to revolutionize the national research landscape in Botswana.
Your contagious dedication and groundbreaking discoveries have paved the way for countless others to follow you. On behalf of the scientific community, we are indeed grateful for your contribution, which we believe shall change the destinies of our peoples and beyond.
It's my firm belief that given the existing challenges of climate change, new pandemics that are emerging like COVID-19, droughts and wars, we need more women in science to provide solutions to such emerging problems.
Institutions of higher learning were urged to carry out research that will address challenges facing communities in order to attract funding. Monica Siswaila, BTV News.
The Chief Executive Officer of L'Oreal Foundation, Ms. Alexandra Palt, says it is important to acknowledge the contribution of women in science. Speaking during an award ceremony to acknowledge 30 women scientists in sub-Saharan Africa who distinguished themselves from over 600 candidates in 17 African sub-Saharan countries, Palt indicated that women have to overcome challenges and bring solutions to communities.
Women in science are said to be faced with challenges of stereotypes, harassment, discrimination, and gender disparities, which doesn't only affect them, but also stifles the development of countries and limits the talent pool in the science space. The role played by these women cannot be overlooked, as it is said to be pivotal to solving complex problems and bringing solutions to communities.
When we look at the challenges the world is facing, climate change, biodiversity loss, health, responsible technologies, we know that we need science desperately to cope with these challenges. And we need women in science to build inclusive societies that work for all of us. Neither Africa nor the world can overcome the crises of our time without one half of humanity. We need women scientists, and we need women scientists leaders.
We believe that the best scientific solutions are born from a mosaic of perspectives, experiences, and background. Through initiatives like this, we strive to create an environment where every talented scientist, regardless of gender, has the opportunity to thrive and make their mark in the world.
Awardees expressed gratitude and shared on their success stories despite the hindrances they say they encounter.
Because of my mentor, I've reached milestones that seemed impossible to me. Today, I'm contributing to the food safety systems in the world, and I'm an award-winning young scientist. This is something which seemed far-fetched for me when I started on this journey.
My mother was diagnosed with cancer, and it was clear that time was at the essence. Knowing what a delay would mean, I decided that the best I could do would be to stop my training and be at her side. When I shared my plan with my mentor, she completely dismissed it. Grace, she said, you don't have to choose between being your training and being there for your mother. We will find a way for you to do both and succeed. Through the help of my incredible friends who stepped in and pushed me to continue even when I felt like I was ready to give up.
Botswana was applauded for having signed the SADC Charter on the establishment of the Women in Science organization, which is said to be a testament of the country's commitment to promote the role of women in science. Kelekelezwe, Somolekai, BTV News.
Francistown High Court Judge Justice Raolapelwe Kitlogetswe has ordered the Independent Electoral Commission, IEC, to allow the Umbrella for Democratic Change to deploy its observers at different voter registration polls. Justice Kitlogetswe ordered that the UDC be allowed to deploy only 2 agents per polling station to observe, record the names, identify numbers, and record serial numbers of registration books every day. Judge Kitlogetswe says the applicant would suffer irreplaceable harm as the applicant will not have anything to use during the inspection of the voters' roll. The Independent Electoral Commission is ordered to pay all the legal costs in this matter. Notice of hearing for substantive hearing of the merits of the case will be held on the 15th of November next week, Wednesday, in Francistown. Now, moving on, when officially closing the 29th Intergovernmental Committee of Senior Officials and Experts for Southern Africa, the director for UNECA, Ms. Eunice Kwamendo, said they are privileged to have drawn from various delegates' expertise and contributions that will assist in refining draft recommendations on advancing regional integration for accelerated industrialization, enhanced trade, and inclusive development in Southern Africa. Horata Maranyani has more.
The Intergovernmental Committee of Senior Officials and Experts is a UN statutory annual meeting which brings together experts from Southern Africa and the continent to discuss current and pressing issues affecting the socio-economic development in the region. Director of UNESA, Ms. Eunice Kwamendo, said that contributions and partnerships like these are appreciative as they transform the African continent.
Also a lot of clarity in terms of opportunities presented by technology and innovation. I think the discussion, I think it was yesterday that I also sat in on today, that I was just listening in a little bit in terms of, some of the practical solutions in countries. I think Malawi was an example. There's also a lot of clarity or a better understanding on poverty issues, poverty and inequality issues. And I think just to borrow from some of the pressing that we had yesterday, just listening to some of particularly the high-level policy dialogue that, we're being challenged to say we actually all know. We know why we are poor. We know the drivers of poverty and inequality. I think our challenge is to move to the how and the solutions that should really address all of that. So
during the gathering, the officials managed to consider and assess different issues like status of poverty and inequality, and harnessing technology and innovation for private sector and value chain development in Southern Africa.
Almost all the variables analyzed were not favorable to the region, as espoused by the higher levels of poverty and inequality, which gave a gloomy picture on progress made progress made in the region. This means that our national and regional level, at national and regional level, we need to go back to the drawing boards to correct the anomalies observed in relation to the socio-economic indicators intended to take the region forward.
The delegates were encouraged to develop and finalize strategies on how best to implement AFCFTA protocol. Khorata Maranyani, BTV News, Gaborone.
There is need to professionalize the teaching profession, as this will help solve most of the challenges bedeviling the teaching fraternity. Such challenges include student-teacher sexual relationships, non-progression, and conditions of service which some deem unfavorable. Professionalizing the profession, sentiments reiterated by various speakers at the Botswana Teaching Professional Council inauguration stakeholder engagement with the teachers in Khanzi. Angela Nosa was there.
The teaching profession has its fair share of challenges, ranging from low performance in schools, intimate relationships between students and teachers, lack of progression, and unfavorable conditions of service. All these are said to be mainly because teaching has not been professionalized. It is therefore believed that regulation and licensing of the teaching profession could aid in tackling these challenges amicably.
We're working together, that is the ministry, the unions, and ourselves. One of the first projects we are going to undertake is the teacher satisfaction survey. And I've said it over and over again that I would want to team up with the unions and the ministry in going forward to the tripartite alliance. The teacher satisfaction survey touches on organizational schoolwork environment. It touches on the benefits. It touches on the career growth. It touches also on compensation. We will be able to pick out the positives from what is currently obtaining, and we'll also be able to pick the negatives from what is obtaining, what you are not happy about.
When you grow up, our teachers were called, but the teacher no mistake. You still remember that? Because of that, the ethics that they had by then, now all this, now they are eroding. And now is the time, it's a wake-up call.
However, there are calls that the council should not be seen as a monster, but an entity looking out for the best interests of teachers.
License how we hilwe are go bankanya mebile ya rona re bankanyeng ditsela tsa rona nako e santse le teng re se ka ra dumela gore go na le sengwe se tla reng ha se tla se re tshosetse gore kuba
e tla ka nako e siameng but TEPCO ke yone council e leng gore it is going to make us to be recognized internationally in the global market. We are treated as education workers, not teachers, because we have the license.
We cannot leave teaching to divine intervention. There must be a council that must control the practice of teaching.
We are not going to be Boko Homoduma Bahait. We are also not going to fire teachers. We are not going to punish teachers.
Consultations on licensing of teachers will start soon, and if all goes according to plan, issuing of the teaching licenses shall commence in the next financial year. Angela Nusa, BTV News, Khanzi.
You're watching BTV News, and thank you for staying with us. Now, moving on, in a bid to promote the A2 road, namely Trans-Kalahari Corridor, as a safe corridor, various stakeholders amongst them Botswana Police, BURS, the Khanti District Road Safety Committee, as well as the Roads Department, conducted a local joint law enforcement operation. This two-day campaign is to ensure road users comply with the road regulations in order to ensure seamless movement of goods and people. Angela Nosa continues.
The A2 road forms part of the Trans-Kalahari Highway and also encompasses a network of roads linking Botswana to Namibia and South Africa via the Trans-Kalahari Corridor. The corridor, which stresses a distance of 1,500 kilometers, is strategic in that it has been pinpointed as crucial to the economic integration of the SADC region. This has therefore necessitated for the promotion of this road as a safe corridor.
Corridor ye ke corridor e leng gore yone e botlhokwa thata rona mo kgaolong ya rona ya gantsi ke yone e leng gore re bona diteraka tse dintsi mme bile ke supela gore kgang ya gore be re setse re na le mine mo kgaolong go na le diteraka tse dintsi tse e leng gore di tla di rwele dithoto ka jalo ke gone go rotloetsa badirisi ba tsela gore go bane le neelano ba nne le patience dikoloi tse di tsamaya di ketile mme re o hapoga koloi tsone tse di tona tse ke gone gore o tlhomamise gore o hapoga tsela o babalesegile mme bile gape re tla re supa hela gone gore go le gantsi dikoloi tse ra tle re bone gongwe di na le di-breakdown ga motho a tla a nna ele thoko a ska tla hela tabogile ke gone gore ga koloi o tsamaya ka lebelo le le lekanetseng le ga na sa batse di tshwanetseng o kgona gore o e hapoge.
Seeing the influx of heavy trucks on this road, the operators are called on to comply with the road regulations.
Re tshwanetse re itse re tsela e ga ya fensiwa one tsela e ke dirisiwang ke diphologolo di kgabaganya tsela ena le dikgomo se sengwe ke gore a re ska ra kgweetsa re itshietse a re ska ra tapa ka lebelo le hiteletseng le go kgweetsa re sena diteseletso tsa go kgweetsa a re se rwaleng di-hazardous goods tse e leng gore ga go a kwalwa gore koloi e rwele di-hazardous goods ka gore ga go nna le kotsi re nna le mathata ga wa tshwanela go nna le dipone tse e leng gore di a hata di-spotlights but ke unprescribed lights re thokane le dipone tse dintsi a le mo ditseleng tsa.
Complying to weight restrictions still remains a challenge.
Nako le nako itele re kopana le tsone mme morwalo o ba o rweleng go tlhelele so le telesegang gore ba ka dirisa tsela but re make sure gore ra ba charger le ga gone di-charge ke na le tumela gore ga di ba baballe because ga ba bake go bongwe ja mathata a re kopana le ga tsela o te ka bophara tlhokagala thata motho a gaetse gore gongwe go ka nna le way bridge mo go yone tsela yone re mo go yone because mo nakong ya gampieko le o ta ithala le di-mine tsa lehatshe la rona di oketsegile di dintsi ga la isitse bokete o ta itele gore possibility tsa botha best gona o thunya thaere e be e ralla naga ya go kopana le ba bone ba senang molato a ba go ba gaile.
In a few years, a rail network will be added to augment the transport infrastructure in this area, a move necessary to fulfill the ideals of the Africa Free Trade Agreement. The A2 road, therefore, is proving to be strategic, consolidating trade efforts between Botswana and its trade partners, mostly Namibia. Angela Nosa, BTV News, Khanti.
The public has been urged to watch out for criminals who use technology to defraud them. Cyber Smart Botswana, in partnership with Botswana Communications and Regulatory Authority, BOCRA, Botswana National Library Services and the Ministry of Communications, Knowledge and Technology are in Maung to educate the public about safe use of technology, cyber crimes, and how to protect themselves from such crime. Maranyani Samakata has more.
Recently, His Excellency President Dr. Mokgweetsi Masisi launched Smart Bots Village Connectivity Project, through which the government is rolling out internet connectivity to more than 500 villages across the country. This gives Botswana easy, affordable connection to the internet from wherever they are. However, cybercrime is equally on the rise and remains a threat to the public.
That's all I have. Kana what a koloi, kana what a madi, kana what I. So the country didn't Rokopana lecho. Ele tiriso what has Hayamaranian. Edi Ranke Bangobat. Matsiba, Wamo Habatswana. Sepe Sabasi winning Kamucha Hatayabo.
The elderly has embraced the use of technology.
Ke dirisa maranyane le tsone di Wi-Fi ko lapeng di teng. Jaanong mathata a me ke gore ga ke kgone go tsenelela ko teng. Ke tshela ka go bitsa bongwana ke kere anong mo ke dire jang like gone yana ke ntse this morning ke kopa ngwana ke gore ke batla go itsenya mo gate ke profile go na le ba ikileng ba nteletsa le bone ba Mascom ba re ke ba Mascom gore ke winne sengwe yaanong ba kopa di-details tsa me o itse nne ke setse ke ba netse go ema ha ID number ile ha ke tshwantse gore yaanong ke ba neele account number ke be ke re ema jalo sa gakolo di be seta mo go nna be ke re ema jalo nte ke buele kgaitsedi a ke wa le polisi ha ke mmotsa gore a ke dio tse di siame.
Ke a dirisa maranyane ke nnete ke kgona go a dirisa le mo WhatsApp le mo Facebook ke a dirisetsa mo diong tsa di business le dingwe hela ke batla go checka dingwe ke research hela jalo maranyane ke a dirisitse ka lebaka le lelele mme re bona dio tse dingwe batho ba re tsietsa mo teng motho a kgona go raela gore o inne madi hela mantsintsi mme wena o ntse o itse gore wena ga o ise go tsenele le sepe.
Its use in social platforms, especially by the youth, has been condemned.
Le senya dio tse di busula mo maranyaneng ke ne ke le gakolla bongwana ka ke re emisa re tsile ha re le basadi bagolo yana re batla go tlo go ithuta maranyane re to go utlwa ya ka ba siang ka ditlhaloganyo tsa rona mme hela se se busula ke gore ha o bula ha ile o Facebook ya re sulagalla ebile rona basadi bagolo ka ha le buang ka teng.
Cybersmart Botswana will host these workshops in 30 villages across the country in a period of 4 months. Maranyane Samakata, BTV News, Mau.
Community leaders in Mohembo village are concerned about the tendency of some residents who vandalize the iconic Okavango Bridge by defacing it with graffiti and causing widespread damage to electrical infrastructure. Head of CPP Botswana, the company that designed the bridge, Mr. Kobamelo Koboko, has called for action to be taken against the culprits. Tani Tsukudu has more.
A renowned Okavango River Bridge in Mohembo village has earned international recognition, being among the 30 projects meeting the criteria for a FEDIC Merit Project Awards 2023. Despite being one of the Botswana's proud landmarks, the illegal graffiti on the bridge constitutes damage to government property, detracting from its beauty for tourists. The unsanctioned writings mar the multi-million bridge, making it unappealing to viewers and visitors.
Mabapi le mekwalo e le gore e kwalakwala ke batho e le bona ka morago ga setshwantsho ke mekwalo e le gore ke senya seemo sa borogo mme go dira le ga go khopise nna hela go khopisa le bone bajanala go khopisa le bone beng ba borogo e bong Batswana.
Mbambu of Shakawe expressed intent to collaborate with relevant authorities to ensure that those who vandalize the bridge face legal actions.
Jano o perta mona kana re motwalla gore o tsere karolo mo tshinyo ya go kwala borogo. Ga re kita re didimala motho a tereta mo ikatumetsa re dirisana le ba sepodisi go diriswa ditsitana tsa go senya dithoto go mo ke go senya dithoto tsa puso.
This bridge facilitates the rapid delivery of services to people and easy transportation of goods to other countries like Angola and Namibia. Tiny Tsukudu, BTV News, Mohembo.
And that is the news this hour. Do stay with us. Liza Osaking on standby to take you through the world of sport.
Thank you so much, Olibile. Good afternoon. My name is Liza Osaking with your world of sport. And in our first story this afternoon, University of Botswana yesterday unveiled the Women Phoenix Rugby Sevens Academy under Botswana Rugby Union here in Gaborone. The aim of the academy is to develop and grow the sport of rugby to enable local players to compete at the international level. Tlamelo Muntsusi has the report.
The director of Phoenix Assurance Sevens Academy, Tsoganezo Katse, says the academy was formed back in August, and their aim is to attract athletes from different clubs under Botswana Rugby Union and Botswana at large to develop the rugby sevens to be able to compete at international level.
Yeah, let's do an academy to say our mother body, which is the BRU, to say Klabaran SUB, to produce players, seasoned players, to the country. What a Harare will be from Hawks, from LKC, from all the clubs. To come by Neba, Ruta. What we learned as real player and now real coaching is giving back to the community or to the rugby community.
Some sponsors highlighted the importance of having an input in sports.
I think it's a sport.
Phoenix Assurance Sevens Academy heads to Pretoria to compete at Queen Sevens. That will be played on Saturday, and there was also kit unveiling that athletes will use at the tournament. Tlamelo Montusi, BTV Sport, Gaborone.
And now switching codes, Zebra's head coach Didier Gomez da Rosa says even though he has a short time to establish chemistry with the players ahead of their crucial encounter against Mozambique, he has identified key areas to work on. Da Rosa highlighted this at the team's second training session at Lekidi Football Center yesterday, with just 5 days left before opening the 2026 World Cup qualifying campaign in Francistown. Lydia Poloko has the report.
The Zebras players assembled at Ligidi on Tuesday before Da Rosa drilled them in their first training session on Wednesday with 26 locally based players. However, Da Rosa, who had a chance to watch and assess the team on a couple of occasions, now had the chance to work with players up close in efforts to establish some soft chemistry ahead of their next two fixtures.
I'm very positive. Firstly, I repeat, I'm very honored to be the coach of the Zebra. We have a big challenge next week with two very important matches for the World Cup qualification. So yesterday I organized a meeting with my players to inform them that we have to be ambitious, we have to believe in us, because I'm completely convinced that this team has very good quality and we can challenge everybody.
The Frenchman, who is working with Gaborone United head coach Ponto Moloi and Kailo from Security Systems, says they will get the players in the right frame of mind and physically to grow in two tough matches in a space of 5 days.
We have a short time to improve the fitness, but I'm very confident with the work of Coach China. He's a very good coach, fitness coach, and we try to manage very well the player, and for sure I'm completely confident that we can be very tough, particularly the first match. We have to focus firstly on this match against Mozambique, and this is what we focus. We need a 3 point. After we will have the time to think about Guinea, but it's very important to start this campaign with a very good performance.
Internationally based players in the likes of Kaizer Chief defender Tataone Ditlokwe, Kabelo Sakanyeng, Timisang Oribonyi, Khapem Huziwa, and a first-time call-up Brendan Wilson are expected to join the team in the next few days.
Firstly, among the 31, there is one player injury. He cannot be with us, Ramotse. So I'm sorry for him, but I hope that he will be good soon. And we expected 5 players from outside, and Titi, of course, he played yesterday. Oribonyang, he will play tomorrow with his Algerian team. Sekaneng must be here after today. Gapé also. And we are waiting Brandon Wilson from Vietnam. He played the champion match yesterday in Asia with his club Hanoi, and he's on the way to join us.
The Zebras are expected to head out to Francistown on Monday to finalize their preparations before hosting Mozambique on Thursday afternoon at Obed Itani Chulume Stadium. Lydia Poloko, BTV Sport, Gaborone.
And that is it for sport this hour. I'll be back with more sport at 5 o'clock, but stay tuned because Olivia continues with In Context.